Hello and welcome to J&N Aquarium Supply. Today we're going to build a shelf because I need a shelf for all my live foods and dry foods in a more convenient spot. So stay tuned. This is where the shelf is going to go. It's above my 72-gallon Bullfront tank. And I'd like it just right up there because it's a nice, easy, convenient spot. I have power there and I have air there for my live foods, and it's a convenient spot to keep some of my dry foods. This is going to be the board that I use for my shelf. It's a rough cut piece of knotty pine with a live edge on it, so it's going to look sharp. I've planed it down. I have a planer in my garage, so I've planed it down. It looks beautiful, but I am going to cheap out a bit for ease, and I'm just going to use these cheap shelf brackets to attach it to the wall. If the wall's white, whatever. I'm not going for super pretty, but I want somewhat functional as well. And I'm going to be using some, hopefully they work, 8 1/4 inch, size 8 1 1/4 inch screws, and some 2 1/2 inch screws to mount it to the wall. So, tools we're going to need a pencil, we're going to need a tape measure, and we're going to need a drill or impact gun of some type. And I'm using Robertson screws, so we're using a Robbie bit. We're also going to require a level. This is a 6.5 foot level. You don't need one that long, but I have one, so I'm going to use it. So how we're going to start mounting this shelf is getting our desired height. I want the shelf to be between 12 and 14 inches above the tank. So I'm going to set the bracket height at 12 inches above the tank. Now I'm only going to mark one side of the shelf for one shelf bracket, and I will do the others by level because I want it to be very, very level. So we're going to go approximately here and make a mark. So we're going to attach our wall mount bracket. I'm going to do the long end down because I don't need as much on this board. Simply, I know there's a stud right here, so we're going to go to that stud, bring it down to my line, and start sinking screws. I have to be careful and try and put mine on an angle because I know the stud's behind here, but my shelf only goes to here. That's not going anywhere. So next we're going to take the level and we're going to run it off of that bracket, the top of it, and find our level at this end. I do want it perfectly level because there will be water up here. That's right on the money right there. Make a mark. So next we're going to install our bracket on this side with the mark being right on the top. Be very careful when you're using your fish tank as a stand. Always put tools and stuff on the plastic trim if you're going to, not right on the glass top. And try not to drop your screws on it. So now we have two brackets up. We can put our board up and see how it looks. It's pretty good, pretty good. Throw the old level on it and see how we're doing. Perfect. It is nice and level. It's also a good idea to have a smaller level to check your level front to back, which ours is way off. It's pointing down. I need it up a bit. But if I look underneath the wood, if I screw the wood into the brackets, that should achieve what I'm looking for. So I'm going to take one screw and put 1 1/4 screw in each of the two brackets we have up at the back to try to level this out. So now I have to pick where I'm going to put my next bracket. I only have one more bracket. I should have maybe got two more brackets, and maybe I will go get another one after, but I have a stud right here, which we'll put a mark so we're not guessing. And I have a stud right here. I can see this from where I've attached the paneling previous. So I'm planning on keeping my live foods that require water, which in essence are heavier, on this side of the shelf. So I'm going to put the bracket on this side. All my dry goods, I'll be on this side, and they're very light. They won't affect. So we have a shelf now. What are we going to do with it? Well, I have this Daphnia tank right here. It's doing quite well, actually. There's a little better view. You guys can see them in that tank now. Some of them are very, very small. There's some bigger ones. They tend to more be at the back here. But anyways, this is going to go up on the shelf. And I'm also going to make a brine shrimp hatchery to go up there for my live foods. And then on this side, I'm gonna put all my dry foods so they're nice and convenient. All my tanks are right here. And they're nice and close and I can see them and they're more accessible. So the Daphnia tank is set up, working great. I ran a new airline. Well, redirected it from my air loop system coming down. There's one for the brine shrimp hatchery, there's one for the Daphnia. Requires very little air. That's probably too high as it is. But I added some new water to the mix, and now all I gotta do is feed them. They require a lot of food, and this is what I feed them. It's spirulina and yeast mix. I mix a batch, it's good for 2 days, and I'll show you how much I put in. So I simply slide the canopy lid over a bit and pour in about that much. These things eat like crazy. They'll have this tank clear by tomorrow. But I am getting quite a few in there. It's a good little culture started up. So I just fed probably 100 Daphnia to my fish as well while I was moving the tank. So here's my brine shrimp hatchery. It's very simple. Just takes a couple of 2-liter pop bottles, soda bottles. And I'm not going to explain how to make brine shrimp. It's real easy. Follow the instructions that come with it. But the light is very important. It needs light, and it needs 24-hour light for brine shrimp. So I have that light on 24 hours. Now what that light is a part of, and it actually fits right in there, and it's sealed. 2 things. It helps heat the water, so the water gets up into the mid to high 70s with that light down here, and brine shrimp like that. It came off of this little beta bowl or goldfish, plastic goldfish bowl. I tried using that as a brine shrimp hatchery. It was very ineffective. There was a lot of dead spots and it didn't work. I like this method, and then I have a long syringe that I stick right down to the bottom and pull out the babies when I turn the air off. So there's my live food section of the shelf, and I will fill the rest up. But there's my air going to both the brine shrimp and the Daphnia, and it just goes over from the manifold right there. Perfect. We have electricity right there. All good. Well, there it is. All done. Got all my food up here. Nice and easy for me to get at. Organized. It's off my table I use in the middle of the room there. Keeps it a lot cleaner because I end up just putting the food there. So if it's here, an easier, convenient spot, maybe I'll actually put it away. Organization's my weak point in my fish room for sure, and I'm trying to get better at that, and this is going to take me one step closer. I love having a live food up here. I'm not down on my hands and knees trying to look at it, and that's a nice safe spot for my brine shrimp as well. From us to you, JN Aquarium Supply, happy fish keeping, and until next time, bye for now.